Weak signal measurement is a common application for a spectrum analyzer, for instance measuring the signal characteristics of nearby 3G base stations or FM radio stations. Another example is using a spectrum analyzer to capture and analyze interference signals during EMC testing. Normally all these signals are very weak and they are often compromised by the displayed average noise level or DANL spec of a spectrum analyzer. This is the spectrum analyzer's noise floor. This demonstration shows how to reduce the apparent noise floor to increase the weak signal measurement capabilities of GW Instek's spectrum analyzers. After pressing the preset key, the GSP-9300 shows a noise floor of minus 50 dBm. In this condition, weak signals will be covered up and can't be measured. The noise floor of a spectrum analyzer is mainly related to the attenuator design, the preamp design, and the RBW, the resolution bandwidth, and the VBW, video bandwidth. Video bandwidth is the post-detection filter bandwidth, which just smooths out a signal of interest. Suitable settings can reduce the noise floor of the GSP-9300 down to minus 152 dBm. Which allows very weak signals to be measured. The setting procedures are these. First, connect the FM antenna to the input port of the 9300. Next, press the frequency key. Press F2 and enter 80 MHz for the start frequency. Press F3 and enter 120 MHz for the stop frequency. Next, press Amplitude and select F1 reference level and enter minus 30 dBm. Pressing F5 twice activates the scale display. The noise floor is now minus 60 dBm. Press F7 to enter the next page. Press F5 twice to set the automatic mode for the preamplifier, which activates it. The attenuator is automatically set to 0 dB. After these settings, the noise floor of the spectrum analyzer will be lowered to minus 90 dBm. The previously mentioned FM radio signals are now appearing. To increase the frequency recognition level, and to reduce the noise floor of the spectrum analyzer, press the bandwidth key and set the RBW and VBW parameters. Select Manual, then input 30 kHz. Select VBW, select Manual, enter 3 kHz. We can see that the noise floor is now lower. To locate the strongest FM radio signals, press the peak search key, and then the spectrum analyzer will automatically detect the peak value and place a marker on the peak value. And the frequency and power value will now be shown on the screen. And that's it for showing weak signals on the GW Instek GSP-9300 spectrum analyzer. So here are some key points. First, set the correct frequency and amplitude parameters to capture the required signals. Then, set minus 30 dBm or below for the reference level to automatically activate the preamp and set 0 dB for the attenuator. Lower the RBW and VBW settings to reduce the apparent noise floor of the spectrum analyzer. And lastly, use the peak search function to measure the signal's frequency and power.